Nate Yazel is a South Grassland biologist for the DNR based at the Crosley Fish and Wildlife Area Office in Jennings County. With 28 years of experience in the Division of Fish and Wildlife, he has dedicated the last 18 years to working in the division's private lands unit, assisting landowners with their habitat needs.
So today we're going to talk about our Grasslands for Gamebirds and Songbirds program. And that's a tongue twister for me, so I'm going to just say GGS from now on. But it is kind of our umbrella program in the state for most of our grassland work. But here in the past few years, we've been operating through the Regional Conservation Partnership Program, which is a farm bill program. And we started developing this in 2018. And it is to provide technical and financial assistance to private landowners that are wanting to establish and manage grassland habitats. Kind of started focusing on northern bobwhite, Henslow sparrow, loggerhead shrikes, and ringneck pheasants, kind of depending on where you are in the state from north to south as to which one we're really going to look at. We ended up starting with 5 focal regions that amounted to, I think there were 19 counties in the original program. The funding through this allowed us to hire 3 grassland biologists, and we were able to develop some habitat teams to help landowners that either didn't have the knowledge or the equipment to work on habitat. So that allowed us to come in and do some of the work for them, which was very popular, or has been very popular, and continues to be popular. It started and still is, our contracts are basically land management contracts that mirror EQIP. We go through the same sign up as EQIP, just parallel right along with general EQIP and general wildlife funding sources, or there's several pools of funding now, and we're just right there with them. And in addition to that, we also were able to offer some additional financial incentives with some of our state money, and we continue to do that as well. Let's see. This is our original focus. We had, like I said, we had 19 counties in these different focal regions. Our CPP, the Regional Conservation Partnership Program, like I said, in the title of it, there is partnership. We had 31 partners that came together and helped us with funding through either financial or in-kind match. We had just under $2 million in the original funding pool, and we obligated all of that, a little over that, of the $1.9 million. And we were able to develop, with us and our partners, 3,835 acres of habitat. One of the interesting things that came about when we started advertising, there was a lot of interest that came from outside of our focal regions. Not that we were able to keep track of it, but there was the general wildlife funding through EQIP also went up as well outside of our focal region. So just the talk of the Grasslands for Gamebirds and Songbirds program just generated interest everywhere, and so we created a lot of habitat that was outside of our focal regions. Through the program, it also was the beginning of our Apple program, which is our public access program that we were putting some hunting opportunities on private ground. We tried to keep these as high quality hunting opportunities. So they were limited draw hunts, they weren't wide open hunting. It was, one party per day, a couple times a year, typically for the game bird hunts, which were the initial focus of our program. We were hunting quail in the south, pheasant in the north, and wild turkey and woodcock where the seasons would align with our agreements. This program is expanded into what we now call our Indiana Private Lands Access Program. We've developed some other funding sources for that through the Farm Bill still, but through voluntary public access program. So even though this has faded away from our funding sources, it's still a very active program. And we've expanded it into deer hunting, waterfowl hunting, some small game hunting here and there as well. And we continue to try to keep these as really quality hunting opportunities. It's been very popular. We get very few negative comments. It's everyone loves this program so far that we hope to continue and expand on it. The other thing we were able to develop, as mentioned, was the habitat teams. We ended up with a team in the north and the south. Like I say, it was aimed at landowners that don't have the knowledge to establish a habitat or the equipment. So we were able to come in, buy some equipment. We have a truck, tractor, trailer, sprayers, planters, tillage equipment, anything that you could need to establish grassland habitat. And we've been able to do a lot of that for landowners. I think we're putting, it's hard to say per year because it depends on weather and landowner opportunity, or the opportunities we have to work with landowners, but we're averaging probably 150 acres a year between the north and the south of what we're doing work on. A lot of that is early successional habitat, and a lot of that is native grass and pollinator habitat as well. Oh, well, and the ever-present invasive work that we're always doing. This part of the program continues. We would really love to see it expand into the future as well, as we've expanded the GGS program. So that was our beginnings. We're now up to what has happened here in the last year or so. Our funding sources have played out. We were able to get a renewal for our GGS program. And with that, with discussion with partners within our CS, we've been able to expand our focal regions. So we're now looking at 40 counties in Indiana that we're still doing the same grassland pollinator habitat work. And we have just now got to where we are up and running. Last year, our contract signage was very close to the time that the signups were for EQIP, and we had very little time to advertise or to enroll landowners. So this is what we're looking for as really the first initial year that we can really ramp things up. We were able to put a few projects through last year that just barely scraped by, but this year we're really looking to work on some of that financial aid money and really help landowners out. This iteration, like I say, is 40 counties. We were able to increase our funding just a little bit. We have $2.6 million to work with for these next 5 years. With that came that all came from 23 partners, and our goal is to put an additional 3,120 acres of habitat out on the ground. So our next steps for what we're looking for are for those of you that are in the field, that have people that are interested in grassland habitat. You can really direct them to me or my counterpart in the north, Adam DeLucine, or any of our district biologists. And we can help kind of funnel them into NRCS to the district conservationists and help them through the signups. And if they need help establishing we can help them with that. But our goals for the rest of this fall is to try to get landowners lined up for this program. And I think, no, I went the wrong way. Yeah, I think that was it. And I have time for questions, it looks like.
All right, it says, are you able to help landowners in this program with prescribed burning more than just writing a burn plan?
So within our work unit, the private lands work unit, all of our district biologists do have burn equipment that we have available to loan out to people. We have drip torches, backpack sprayers, flappers. We do on occasion conduct some burns. We do them as workshops. They're not typically very big. We try to keep those workshops small, short and sweet, just to keep landowners' attention, but try to teach folks how to do prescribed fire. So yeah, there is some help available out there if they need, especially for equipment.